Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 250. When we last left our heroes, with Victor's help, Vulcan was able to find out how Giovanni was controlling the bug swarm if he was not using magnetism. That it involved Bug Mecha. He was doing some kind of dance the honeybees do. Lisa was able to very quickly destroy the 7 bugs he was using to control them, controlled the rest of the swarm, seemingly killing Giovanni for good this time, only for us to learn that Giovanni had taken control of Infernal U's body using the bugs through a method I don't quite understand but isn't really important. What really matters is that Giovanni is now at the keyhole to Amaterasu, holding the key, about to kickstart the Cataclysm. So yeah, let's jump right on into chapter 250. Our cover here doesn't even have a title. It's just like a flame, and like a concentric circle surrounding it. The year is 198 of the solar era. Since the last cataclysm, 250 years have passed. And now, chapter 250, Those Who Resist. We see the Soul Eater moon, the number 29, the cataclysm, stars with faces on it. As the key is inserted into Amaterasu, the time of destruction has come. The moment you've been waiting for. The Cataclysm. Chapter 250, Those Who Resist. And so we open outside of Amaterasu. And also the little blurb here says the key is inserted into Amaterasu. But with last chapter's cliffhanger, it was still like approaching the keyhole, so there still is a chance to stop it. But we'll see. Anyway, we open outside of Amaterasu, as Hinoa is still firing at Charon, and Charon is still just tanking, blast after blast after blast. The two of them still stare each other down. Last time we saw them, we got some great page compositions out of it, and that is still true here. The faces they make are just so cool. But Obi calls to him, Hinoa, we don't have time for this. We have to hurry. I've got a bad feeling about this. And Ritsu looks down on them and smiles. What a pity. Meanwhile, with the Dragon Arthur fight, they're still going at it. Neither of them seem to have... Dragon seems pretty unfazed. Arthur, it's kind of harder to tell, but he's still standing at the very least. And Dragon asks him, what's the matter, boy? And Arthur collects himself and looks back up at Dragon and goes for a slice right along Dragon's chest. And Dragon mockingly, you call that hot? And then he swipes at Arthur, but Arthur seems to dodge it. And then Arthur cuts into Dragon again. I can't tell whose thought this is. Is that all you've got? It's either Arthur in response to Dragon's blast that he dodged, or it's Dragon in response to that slash that Arthur did. Either way, they're both seemingly alright after that. And as the wound kind of like smokes, Dragon looms over Arthur again. Another killing blow. How many does that make now, boy? And Arthur looks at him. I didn't keep count. No matter. Either way, it's useless. Honestly, I was not expecting to be halfway through the chapter now and have no follow-up on that cliffhanger from last week. But either way, Arthur gets right back to slashing through Dragon, and it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't matter how many new weapons you pick out. It doesn't matter how strong you get. No man alive can beat me. When a man's called the strongest, it's for a reason. It's divine providence. Let's end this. And he lunges at Arthur, seemingly hits him with some kind of blast. Yeah, and Arthur sent flying backwards after the impact. And we see Dragon in silhouette this time, and looking a lot more dragon-like than he normally does. His face, I mean. His face is normally, circular like a human's. But here it's kind of rectangular, reptilian. And that might just be Okubo's stylistic choice. It might be the Cataclysm as a Dola and the real world merge. I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. But after that blast, Dragon taunts him. In the end, you were nothing but a wee boy. All of those expectations. What a waste. And Arthur skids to a stop, still standing. We see the sweat on his forehead as he kind of wipes his mouth. And Dragon looks at him again. Fate itself could stand against me, whipping up a storm, and it'd be nothing more than a gentle breeze. I will say this. Dragon delivers one hell of a villain monologue. Like, this is just a great fucking monologue. And Arthur thinks to himself, what was I thinking? I thought I could defeat a dragon like this? That's not a good sign. If Arthur is doubting his own knightly powers, he's about to lose them. But we see in yet another utterly fantastic panel composition from this arc, Dragon just looming over Arthur. Arthur looks so incredibly tiny in that shot compared to Dragon. Like, I've hyped up this series for its panel compositions, especially all arc. But this is just maybe one of my all-time favorites. And then we see Tamaki, who looks at something in shock and horror. Ogun on the ground. Has Ogun been on the ground the whole time, or is that a new thing? Because he was beat up pretty badly by Charon. He might still be there. I don't entirely remember. But we see Maki using the Tikyo to beat up some Infernals. Obi and Arrow are getting some shots in. Hinawa is still trying to get past Charon, and Charon is still tanking it all. And he shouts, "You lose, Company 8. Our victory here tells the whole story, doesn't it? The foundation of this world is death. That's the moral of the story. The cataclysm is here." And we see specifically the Solar Moon looking down on the battle. And then we cut back to Arthur and Dragon. Arthur continues to stare up at Dragon as Dragon continues his just wonderful villain monologue. You know, I don't give a damn what goes on in the hearts of the meek, but I know what's in yours, boy. Despair. And Arthur kind of squats down in response. And Dragon mocks him, "Despair so deep you can't even stand in the face of my pressure." And Arthur fights back, "I'm still." And now we finally go back to Amaterasu. As Vulcan kind of reaches out to try to get to you, Giovanni just grins at him, puts it in the keyhole, and then finally turns it. Unlock the ruin. To be continued in chapter 251, Laughter as the Shield Crumbles. Okay. So I feel like there is a fair complaint to be had here. In that I was expecting this to be kind of like what last chapter teased was that we'd be getting the Cataclysm now. Especially given like the special cover page we have. The moment you've been waiting for. I assume we're gonna like pick up right where we left off and then watch the end of the world start. And we didn't get that. We will hopefully get that next time, given that the key has been turned, I think. It might just be that he hasn't turned the key yet. But I think he has. I think we're done. I think the Cataclysm is starting. But let's not judge this chapter based on what I thought it would be. Let's, do the decent reviewer thing and judge it by what it is. And what it is fucking great. I mean, it's not a terribly complex chapter, but it really is just, the White Clouds getting to really rub it in that they have won this. That there is nothing they can do to stop the Cataclysm. As Charon taunts, "You lose. The foundation of this world is death. That's the moral of the story. The Cataclysm is here." And yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's been a part of me that's like, yeah, especially as the pillars have been kind of separated off into Adola. I kind of been like, yeah, the Cataclysm will probably happen at that point. if, just as I've been saying, so we can have our Shinra Charon rematch and our Arthur Haumea rematch, given that, one part of both of those pairs are on the wrong side of the universe for that. But then, we get this, on top of everything else in this chapter, we had this whole great dragon speech, on in a similar vein to Charon's line, but he's just, I don't know, it's just so cool. He's just such a badass. And I'm sure eventually Arthur will beat him, though I doubt it will be here. I expect it will be in a post-Cataclysm world he'll win. And maybe that's just because with the collective consciousness powers of the Cataclysm, maybe Arthur's nightly delusions will gain more strength there? I don't know. That in particular is a little bit ill-defined for me to really make any theories about. But still, this chapter is just a fucking blast. It's Company 8's final push to stop the Cataclysm, and it fails. And yeah, I don't know. Like, this is how the worst ending that's kind of popped into my head that I could think of is like, we prove that the foundation of the world is not death because Kingdom Hearts is light. They start the Cataclysm and everything is hunky dory now. And that would just be kind of lame. Let's be real here. I don't think this is gonna happen. That's just the worst case scenario that popped into my head 5 seconds ago. But we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with an utterly fantastic chapter, that just builds the tension up the whole time until Giovanni turns that key and the end of the world begins. So yeah, that's all I got to say for this chapter. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!